here, as Joseph takes my center line, do that same exercise we just finished. Strike, move into him, keep the pressure even while you're here. From here, if he lets off, I should either roll onto my back or regain my posture, but if he presses down, I move with him. Let's go. I come back up. If he bears down, so I'm with him moment by moment. Let's try that. Suwari waza. Shomei Annyanga. Shihou nage. One of the things for this weekend, and it may become for you a theme for your practice in general, is you think about what qualities you'd like to have in your life. And you start to practice those qualities right now as you're training. So if it's an unobstructed flow of energy, then see how it is you can be unobstructed. Whether it's a postural thing, whether it's a different way of looking at the technique, maybe rather than cranking it on, you think about it more in terms of drawing your partner to you. So each of you decide for yourself what it is that you'd like to see. What would you like to take off the mat? And start to practice it now. All right? Let's try that. Again, it's difficult. The problem with Ura, some of you I notice are trying to do it. What happens is that you bang into your partner's feet like this, or into his legs. It's hard to do Ura. So with Ura, you have to sort of fudge it a little by getting more distance. And the problem with getting more distance is the tendency is to bend over backwards, and then you can get yanked backwards. If you don't get far enough away, you slam into your partner's legs and you can't turn. So the way I resolve that is I don't move, but I get my partner to move. So rather than having an emote and a ra variation, I have an emote or a moving variation. And then I have a stationary variation where it moves around me. So you can look at it like that. You can call that stationary movement Ra, if you like. Settle into this move, and then let go of the pressure and move right in for the center line. If you get close enough to them, the arms lift by themselves. And it's not so important with the arms, even if you let go. Now it's a center-to-center connection. Kokyu nage. Move off the side. Then step right in front of your partner. I don't try to lift my arms, they just sort of float up as I move in closer and throw. So it's heavy. I give her a lot of weight far away from her so that she has to pull her center in to support it. And then step back in. so many things you can do. You still call it Irimi Nage. It can be that short. It can be that long. Somewhere in between. The number one thing, and something that I got very early on from Yamada Sensei, was that whatever you do, you have to be in a position to do it. You know, and that carries over into life as well. Because sometimes when you try to force things, it means that you're not in a position to do something, so you have to use force, right? But actually, if you look for the right place to stand, then it gives you a vantage point where you can really move effectively. So always think about your positioning, regardless of what particular variation you do. Are you in a position to do something? Right? So let's begin. This is sort of a Jodan or upper level variation where you're breaking the grip, peeling it off here. You know, there's middle, there's lower. Right? Jodan, Shudan, Gedan. So we're going to do Jodan here so that you get so close to your partner. It's to move yourself. It's as easy to move your partner as it is to move yourself. So practice just getting in close. Why don't we just start with that? From here, come up, move in close so that your belt is just about touching your partner like that. Get that close. Okay, let's try that much. Coming up this way, create a little pressure going up. It'll naturally come down. If it keeps going up, then it's usually if you try to uproot someone, they have a natural tendency to want to right their own posture and push against you. So out here I have to improve my position. I'm right in his line of attack. I can create a triangle here, but he's outside of the triangle. I'm right on his line. I can't throw him from here because I have to pull him, but I get down solid. If I push against him, he's really strong, so I have to change my own position a little bit. Use your partner's grip, so you put your center into it, and you turn her arm into a pull. See, the whole thing with Aikido is that you don't break the connection and retaliate, but you enhance the connection. You get her to hold. She decides to hold, that is a wonderful idea. Great, I want more contact. Depends on the type of martial artist you are. So, some like to stay on the outside and pick you off, and that's deadly. I like to get in close. And it can also be deadly, but you know, there's the tactile types, and then there's the quick fight types. Most of us are some combination of both. Of course, if she comes in and grabs hold of my wrist, She's in my neighborhood. If she's going to put her hands up to box, I'm in her neighborhood. Then I have to get in so that she's in my neighborhood again. But right now, it's also good to study from Katate Dori because you can learn a basic principle in a non-threatening environment. So she holds onto my arm. Many break the grip and try to reestablish it, only giving Crystal a chance to set herself again. So as she holds, I move in. I use the grip. If you feel, well, actually just do that. Let's not go into Ura yet. Let's just do the Omote variation. That's the whole thing right there. If you forget everything else, it's okay. Just get this. Okay. Let's try Katate Dori Ikkyo. Much depends on how your partner responds. And there's no response that's wrong. I practiced for many years feeling that there were certain responses that were wrong, and then I get mad at my uke. But I got beyond that, I hope. You know, you got a good day tonight, all right? So from here, as he holds on, I watch what Tony. I watch how Tony responds. Now he may decide he's moving back before he bends, right? So he's moving out of the spectrum here of Ikkyo, but he opens it up to Nikkyo. Right? Or it may be the thing that he creates this void and you step in rather than twist your hips because you need to cover a little distance and get under him, almost as if you're going to do Koshinage. And then down to the mat. As the uke, you can experiment with these things. Keeping your shoulder tight and moving back. Or softening your rib cage. Remember that exercise we did at the very beginning of class where you got real soft in the ribs? Whoops, he lets me go, I just roll out. But he bears down and I respond to him. So even when you're taking Hemi, you're practicing Aikido. Moment by moment, I'm with him. I'm like an open microphone waiting for a sound. I don't care if the sound comes or not, but if there's a sound or he pushes down, I respond. Let's continue. Just ask what happens if they're bearing down on your arm and they see this coming and nothing, he's going to push off of his back foot and no way I'm going to be able to do this. Or is there a way? Well, there might be. But what? Right? You have to find the void. So, or you can make it a practice of no matter what he does, you're going to stick to the same technique. Very hard thing to do. Right? No matter what he does, I'm only going to do Ikkyo. Right? Okay. So, and if you get it off, it's a tremendous practice. He can resist this way. He can pull. He can push. He can hold you down. He can push you up. But you may only do this particular variation of Ikkyo. Whoa. There we go. Go ahead and move back. This is what I'm going to do. That's cheating for me. All right? Okay. connection between the striking attacks and the holding attacks. So Crystal holds my wrist like this, and I do this. She comes in with the punch. I strive for the same connection. Ski, 呼吸投げ。Before we did this, and we did the Jodan level. So actually, if he comes in with a punch to the Jodan level, here this way, you can make the same kind of connection. It's as if he's holding your wrist and you're peeling the grip off, except he's making a fist here, coming in this way. From here, get behind him. Break his balance. So he comes in, break the balance, and continues. YouTube. So one hand does that, the other that, and your belly rolls over your thigh. Whatever side you want your partner to go to, take your belly and roll over your thigh with it. Belly rolls over the thigh, and you get your center involved. It really isn't about the arms. Okay. Kokyu dosa. When someone reaches for you, reach for them at the same time, so that you're not pushing with your arms, but you feel it right in your center. So you're here, you push with your center, and you feel where his center is. And then from here, you can begin to steer the car pretty easily. You get under and you start to use your belly. So, we always want to make our belly smaller, but really, big belly Aikido. I was thinking of changing the name of my dojo. Aikido, because if you use your belly, you puff it out a little bit.